I wanted to begin this evening, in terms of at least the verbal or didactic part of tonight, reconnecting with the dispensation that I gave on New Year's Eve for this coming year, for this year of 2010, it being the Year of Adoration. And I wanted to bring this to the forefront again to help us deepen in our focus upon commitment to integration of and practice of the sacred ways of being and the principles and the applications of this, to attune to these energies and to really take ourselves deeper and deeper into the heart of the beloved. And I would like to preface all that I might say, which won't be a whole lot, by asking and inviting everyone, whether or not you have done so already, to go back and revisit that discourse, which you can find in our website, www.louix.org. Go and revisit that discourse. And I invite you also, and strongly recommend, that you play both the discourses. You'll see them in the video section. I believe we have them in the audio as well. But if you have the capacity on your computers to see them in the video section, all the more better. There's a 20-minute discourse on New Year's Eve itself, when I gave that dispensation for the year. And then the next morning, only a few hours later, when we reconvened, shortly after dawn, I entered the room in quite a blissful state. I was pretty much had already gone into samadhi, and I gave the people at that retreat a direct experience of exactly what I was speaking of and alluding to only a few hours ago. So you can vicariously experience that adoration of God unto humanity, and from humanity unto the Creator. You can vicariously experience that by and through watching, listening to, experiencing that New Year's Day morning video. And the two combined make quite a pairing. So as part of your, quote, homework, but it's really a gift to yourself, I strongly recommend you go see those again, if you have not done so, or if you have already done so. Now, as far as this Year of Adoration, just to recap, once again, it's about making a commitment, and or, for those who already have, a new commitment to reinvent and recreate your relationship with the beloved, with God, the Creator, however you wish to call it, and recommitting to the very same, to falling more and more to an unprecedented level, head over heels in love with God, with the Creator. And not so much just in a conceptual idea of, I'll pray more and this and that. I mean, I'm really talking about taking on your Creator as your beloved, as your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, your parent, your lover, your child, your best friend and confidant, your caretaker, your provider. But in the deepest, deepest sense of the word, as your truest, deepest lover and friend. And that's something that very few people do. Most people, if at all, in the relationship with God, if they even have one, it's more, I'll say a few prayers and, hope He watches over me type of thing. But I'm saying to really personify this. This is what the dispensation is about, and this is what the invitation is, not just from me, but from God, Him herself. It's to take on God as your partner and lover and best friend in a way you never have before. To personify it, to create it as real in your walk-a-day world, your everyday life, just as you would if you had a physical partner by your side. And that looks differently to many different people and in different people's lives, but it's up to you to create it, to make an adventure out of it, to make a romance out of it, a courtship, and to find ways to have that. I remember one tradition I started many, many years ago. Trying to think if I had a special day for this, whether it was Valentine's Day or the Divine Romance Day when I began that holy day years ago, or my birthday, usually one of the three. I would go out to a nice restaurant, and I would take, quote, God, my beloved, out as my dinner companion. So there'd be no body across from me, but I'd get a romantic table for two, and I'd bring flowers, and I would just create this whole thing as there were a physical person sitting there. And I would experience the evening and personify my Creator as my beloved, as my partner, and have the most romantic and beautiful evening ever. And it was very real for me, very visceral. And I could feel that love coming through that space holder of that chair opposite me at the little bistro table for two. I could feel the love being personified as I commanded it and summoned it to be so. And it truly did personify and was engaging with me in a most profound way. Now that's one example, but it's also in just how you hold your relationship with God, rather than God as someone, something way out there that you pray to and hope will watch over you, that it's more a working relationship of equals in some respects. Of course, we never want to lose the supreme deference and reverence to the Creator, but at the same time, you want to make it personal, because that's when you really feel it, and that's when it takes hold of you. Now, vehicles for steeping yourself in and increasing the essence of adoration, and I'll use devotion, interchangeably to some extent. Ways you can apply that. Well, first and foremost, I already spoke about with God itself, but if for those of you who are blessed enough to have a guru, a spiritual master, it would be there first and foremost, because your relationship with your guru is one and the same, your relationship with God. Not a metaphor for, not a surrogate for, they are one and the same. Whatever your relationship is with your guru is your relationship with God. So for those who don't have that blessing in their lives at this point, there are other places you can find, you can use as a model to outpicture and tangibly work with that relationship of adoration for the beloved. And that might be, if you are in a long-term relationship, make that partner or spouse the object of that adoration that you will use vicariously to deepen in your adoration of God, and vice versa, to use that love of God to deepen in the adoration and devotion to your partner. Same for your children. If you have a pet, the same for your pet. And truly, I'm starting top down all the way down, but the truth is, ideally, you want to be that walking emanation of devotion, adoration with everyone and everything. That's the ultimate goal. So you are virtually an embodiment of devotion and adoration. Why, people ask. I was giving an interview the other day, and someone said, well, why that? Why now? Why this? Why adoration? And why this is a vehicle? And why this year? Well, if you look at the consummate breakdown of the family unit, if you look at how deep we are into this dark age of the Kali Yuga, where God has been exiled so far from people's lives, where money holds dominion as God in this world, where almost all human beings live obsessively and almost pathologically, psychotically even, in a world of desires of gratifying the senses, which paradoxically are to numb the pain of feeling separate from the beloved. How this has so taken hold of this human race and created such devastation, not only in our personal and emotional and spiritual lives, but in the world, in architecture, in business, in finance, in economy, in cultures, in sociology, everywhere. That decay has all come from the severing of that connection with the beloved. And so why this year? Because, we're in the 59th minute of the 11th hour here, folks. So this is the way back. When I say the way, again, I want to qualify that by sharing a piece of information that I often share when questioned about various paths to God. I often describe the path of devotion as the highest path to God because it is the quickest and most powerful and direct vehicle to attain the exalted state of self-love. And since we are God in form, created in God's image, by God, as you deepen in self-love, you are, in essence, realizing yourself as divine, as love incarnate. And so the path to self-love, path of deepening self-love, is the path of God realization. And the path of devotion is the most quick and powerful and direct vehicle to attain the exalted state of self-love. Therefore, what better opportunity, what better thing could there be than this? So, being early September in 2010, we still have September, October, November, December. We've got 4 months. We've got a third of the year, in the final third stretch here of, even if people haven't even started this, it's never too late. Just inviting you to make this your commitment now and have an adventure with it. Be on a treasure hunt to see how you can create this love affair, how you can be consumed by this love and truly be that romantic, have it be that romantic first love, like that puppy love you might have had when you were much younger. So that's my invitation and my sharing for today on this Year of Adoration and where you can go with it from now. And I wish you well to that end. I hope you take my advice and have a ball with it.